Breaking news. I gotta put the echo on for this. Breaking news. You hear that?
Yep. Sounds good.
Bill Cosby's getting out of jail.
Woo, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's free.
Man, where were you when Bill Cosby was free?
Oh man, I was in there eating a sandwich, and the bit had the sandwich like I gotta go live. Oh,
Man,
let's put some victory. I had to wear the Philly hat, represent Philly. Let's go,
Philly in the house, in
Philly.
the
Let's go.
building.
Oh, let me put some music on real quick, some victory music. Let me see. Let's see what we got here. There you go. Hey, victory music. Bill Cosby out of jail. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get my man on here, man. We're gonna talk about this for a brief moment, man.
Yeah.
My boy Jimmy. Okay, I'll put him on. There he is. Yeah. Celebration.
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Oh, we out here jamming, man. We celebrating Bill Cosby being free.
Yeah, Bill Cosby is free, man. Bill Cosby. Now, let me ask you this: has he already been released, or it will be released soon?
Uh, I don't. He's. Go ahead.
It was signed earlier. This was as of 12:45 p.m. New York Post had reported that Bill Cosby will be released from prison after a Pennsylvania court overturned its conviction.
Justice.
Mm, man, that's good, man. That's good. Am I allowed to mention other outlets on this program?
Say that again.
Am I allowed to mention other outlets on this program?
Uh, we- yeah, we good.
Oh, because I had heard on DJ Bad that it was a total miscarriage of justice. That like it was like they had said they would admit something, and they said they wouldn't admit something, and all this like they did the guy just any kind of way. So if what I heard on DJ Glad is true, I'm glad that he's getting released, man. I hope that he didn't do what they said he did, man.
Mm.
Look, he need to get out of jail ASAP because ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody got time for that.
Mm.
And like I don't know, like how did they get him in jail so fast? It's like they snapped their fingers and he was in a cage.
Man, yeah, man, it's the feminist movement, man. They even have
I mean, did he
evidence.
have a trial? Was he sentenced? Was there a jury? I don't know.
Well,
They over, go ahead.
let,
We're
let,
gonna
just
we're gonna read it.
let
Read
me
it.
read it. So it said Cosby had served more than 2 years of a 3 to 10 year sentence at a state prison near Philadelphia. The state Supreme Court on Wednesday, big ups to the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania,
That's right.
that an agreement with the previous prosecutor prevented him from being charged for allegedly drugging and molesting Andrea Constant. Now, here's what was going on. The charges were filed against Cosby, America's dad, just 12 days, well, just days before the 12-year statute of limitations. Um, I'm going to have to find the other report because I think that there was stuff that was done. There was tampering of evidence. Let me pull that up.
All right.
So,
While you pull that up, we're gonna celebrate.
hmm,
It's
So
a
it was like
celebration
a
all day.
few days before the limitation was gone,
couple days before the 12, so it happened 12 years before he got put in jail.
and and you also said that the previous prosecutor had agreed not to prosecute, right?
The previous, so there's alleged evidence or alleged testimony in regards to, you know, whatever happened with with Andrea Constant.
Hold on, I'm gonna play this video real quick. Let's see if it play. And give me.
But I heard you say the previous prosecutor had made an agreement that he would not charge, and then
Hold
he
on,
did
Will.
charge.
I mean, hold on, no, not Will. Jimmy, give me a second. I'm gonna try to play a video. Hold on.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. All right, so let's see if I can share this right here. Let's see what they're saying.
I can't hear anything.
Hold on.
While we're waiting, Marlon Avant, yes, this is real. Bill Cosby is getting released.
This is. Hold on. Oh, this came on right after. Give me a second. All right, let me get this out of here. All right. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, we
Yep.
can hear you. I just didn't hear the media that you played.
Wonder why you couldn't hear it. So, Will, you heard it, right? Interesting.
No.
Couldn't
But
hear it?
no, but I found a little bit more. This is out of the Associated Press. So, PA's highest court overturned Bill Cosby's sexual assault conviction Wednesday after finding an agreement with the previous prosecutor prevented him from being charged in the case. Cosby has served more than 2 years of a 3 to 10 year sentence at a state prison near Philadelphia. He had vowed to serve all 10 years rather than acknowledge any remorse over the 2004 encounter with accuser Andrea Constant. He was charged in late 2015 when a prosecutor armed with newly unsealed evidence, Cosby's damaging deposition from her lawsuit, arrested him days before the 12-year statute of limitations. The court said that District Attorney Kevin Steele, who made the decision to arrest Cosby, was obligated to stand by his predecessor's promise not to charge Cosby when he later gave potentially incriminating testimony in Constant's civil suit. So it was at the civil suit. There was no evidence that promise was ever put in writing. Justice David Weck, writing for a split court, said Cosby had relied on the former prosecutor's decision not to charge him when he later gave potentially incriminating testimony in the Constant civil suit. They said that overturning the conviction and barring any further prosecution is the only remedy that comports with the society's reasonable expectations of its elected prosecutors and our criminal justice system.
Mm.
Wow.
That's
So,
what I think.
yeah, this is huge, guys.
Hold on. They need a applause for that one. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes. Man, that's exciting, man. Justice served.
Real quick, all you on Facebook, on YouTube, wherever you're watching, hit the like or the love button real quick. You know, let us know you over there watching, that you appreciate what's going on with Bill Cosby.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see if I can find a video that they're talking about it. But continue. So what you think about that, Mr. Jimmy?
Well, just in listening to something like that, that you could make a deal with someone and then they use So did they find in writing? They must have found evidence that there was an agreement to that. Is that correct, Will Thomas?
Well, I don't know if they found something in writing or if maybe they got the old district attorney to, maybe fess up to the truth. I'm not sure what happened. This is still developing news,
Right.
but the thing is that a lot of times these prosecutors they'll tell you one thing and then do another, and
Right.
it's really hard to get them to get it in writing usually. So to see this to have happened, because remember what it was he was talking about some things in the civil suit and
Mm.
not the
And then
Yeah,
they
but
criminal.
use
wasn't
that evidence against
yeah,
him in the
because
criminal case, and they had said we won't pursue you criminally. And I guess he was leaning on the fact that they said, well, they won't pursue me criminally, so I can feel free to say this.
Mm.
yeah, and
Mm.
he came in agreement with the disclosure statement. You know, was it disclosure? I can't remember, but deposition. Like in the deposition, he said it, but they wasn't supposed to use it.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Mm.
I'm just saying. I mean, the system can like negotiate your life like a transaction, man. It's crazy.
Well,
You know what I mean? I mean, like,
well, I want to say
whew.
the fact is he stood on his ground, man, and he didn't because I know they were trying to get him to take classes um, when he did his parole hearing a couple of weeks ago, and it was denied because he didn't want to take any classes. So I'm excited that he did that, man.
Yeah, he
You
didn't
know,
want to. Sounds like from what Will said, he didn't want to admit any wrongdoing or anything like that. But I mean, that thing is rough, man.
well, the feminists are gonna come out. They're coming out hard. They want him to do that 10 years.
Mhm.
They want him to do 10 years.
And it wasn't not even just the feminists, but because I wouldn't say that everyone who has pushed for the Me Too stuff is necessarily a feminist. But what I notice is that this drive to be able to convict without proof, to convict based off of just someone's word, this is dangerous.
Yeah,
It's not just dangerous for black men; it's dangerous for any American. But we all know that who's going to get affected by those type of things, the most, right?
Well, I want you to know I echo your sentiment in that it is very dangerous. That, like I say, you can. I mean, they passing out years like candy, at a Halloween party, and these things it can affect your whole life.
Right.
So that's crazy.
mm,
And I'm well, I'm I'm saying this especially like I know people who are victims of false accusations.
Mm.
These people they've never been the same. It's almost like they've been neutered. They're afraid to approach people. These are men, so they're afraid to approach women, or they're afraid to be in certain situations through their life. Why should you have to live like that?
right.
And I think that anyone who is proven, the unfortunate thing about rape and sexual assault is, yes, it is hard to prove it, but you can't just throw away innocent people at the expense of the misgivings of the justice system.
The
And
misgiving.
the problem with Bill Cosby is that nobody really likes him in Hollywood, and he had so much power. At the time, like if you look at when he was the only black person at the time hosting the Tonight Show, that was forbidden, and he had so much power on who can get a shot and who didn't. And then you look at the times when he criticized the comedians like Eddie Murphy and all these people who were cursing, and people didn't like him. I know DL Hughley hates him. It's going to be interesting what he has to say about this. Most people in Hollywood wanted him to rot in prison, you know. So I think this is one thing with like a majority rule type of thing. Like Like I know one of my friends was saying, well, I don't believe he did it until he got to the 17th person. And then after the
Mm,
17th person, I believe that, you know.
true.
So
Mm.
I just feel like people hate him so much that they were trying to get back at him. He had too much power. Now,
That
what's the
that was
guy's
me,
name?
and I did believe that. Like I mean, 17 different. Like 14, I was like, no, he do it. 15, I was like, no, he 16. I was like, what? 17, I was like, oh man, guilty as charged, man. 17, and you folks done said that he did the thing to them, man. That ain't right, man.
Yeah, we had many of discussions on that, and I still feel like if someone don't like someone and they have all this power, they try to figure out how they can get rid of that person. And a lot of times it's majority rule, mob rules, and that's I feel like he's a victim of mob rules. Now I'm not saying he didn't use the stuff because in one of his shows, he talked about using that what's that Spanish fly. But let's be
Hmm.
honest, people use that now. It's a recreational drug, and like I was talking about what's his name Meek, Meek Mills and Rick Ross. Like Rick Ross got a song called I drugged her and she didn't even know it. Like this is culture, you know. So for my opinion, all those girls that was knew that he was married, going to his house, they knew his reputation. You were still going because you wanted something from it.
Mm.
Mm.
Agree or disagree?
I can agree that people do those type of things. I just hope that me, from my heart, I hope that he really didn't do the things that they said he did. I really do
Now,
hope.
if he did do it, I feel sorry. I feel sorry for the victims. Pray for the victims or what have you. But come on, man, they were trying to get him back. Like no one can have that much power and be arrogant. They said he was very arrogant.
Right.
You know, and then the black community went against him when he called them out. Do you remember? In like
Yes.
2008, when he started calling black parents out, why are you calling your kids these names and
Mm.
he's talking about education, and that's when the big fallout came from the black community because you can't call out black people.
Well,
You
maybe
can't just
they
let them do
felt
whatever.
that. Let me ask you this: do you think that maybe they felt that he was detached from them, that he had got too big for his britches, that he was being judgmental of them, like he doesn't have a sordid past, he didn't
Right.
go through the gauntlet of experiences that you have to go through to be a black person in the United States. And now that he's gotten to the other side, and he's passing judgment on them like they're not still going through the same thing.
I totally agree with that, but that has nothing to do with him. Drugging women. Yeah, he cheated on his wife. We all know that. You know. Um,
Here, let's put it like this. Bill Cosby may or may not be a sleazeball individual. That's a possibility. Let's get that out there. But just like the criminal justice system, whenever we're talking about murder or things like and death row and things like that, you can't say just because these people, they look like thugs and they were in the area, so they must have murdered that person.
Mm,
You can't do that. You're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty in the court of law.
right.
So
Right.
this isn't a situation regarding businesses or anything like that, like people getting fired from their job. We're talking about prison or not. We're talking about life or death. And right now, the the system, for some time has been a knee jerk reaction to a lot of shady stuff that some men have done. I'm very aware of that. So the knee jerk reaction is just to convict without proof, and you can't do that.
Mm,
mm, mm,
facts. You're right about that.
mm.
But we all know. But the truth of the matter is, he did give people Spanish fly. He said it. He even said it in the deposition, but it couldn't be used with him.
Okay,
But like I
so if
said,
that's what I'm saying, if he's saying he doing these things, come
I wasn't
on.
against. it wasn't against their will though. Allegedly.
Oh,
I mean, it's the
Bill.
same. It's the same way as when people go to clubs and they're paying people,
But
giving people drinks.
can we at
They're
least
trying to they're trying to alter their mind.
acknowledge the fact that Bill Cosby got more money than God, and number two, he was attractive, and number three, he could get a woman to do what he wanted. Why would these accusations even come up? My question. That is
Hey
really my
man,
question.
it's the same way as people having certain fetishes. You know what was Lucy what was that Louis C.K. With wanting to jerk off in front of people. You know,
Louis
I mean,
C.K.
I think that's what he was doing.
But I mean,
You
if
know,
you want a young lady to watch you, whatever Louis C.K., you can pay somebody to do that. Why are these people coming up and saying,
why pay
Bill
it if you can get
Cosby?
it for free? You know what I'm
Huh?
saying? Why pay if you can get it for free?
Mm. Well, okay. If you look what happened to Bill Cosby trying to get it for free. That's what
Hey,
I'm
but the
saying.
same. Okay, when Donald Trump did it, paid for it. What happened to him?
Donald Trump had some receipts though. Immediately, immediately when the accusations came, he was like, "Look, I paid you not to talk. Here, look at the paperwork. It said I will not tell on you because I'm giving you this money. You signed it." And they was like, "Did you sign it, man?" She was like, "Yeah." They was like,
Hey man, either way you're gonna have receipts no matter what. You know what I mean?
"Bill Cosby didn't have no receipts. That's why he in this situation." The moral of
Well,
the story is get some receipts, man.
Mm.
I mean the more the stories don't do it, but you know,
That's true.
stay out of that drama. But I'm
Right.
just excited that he's free. You know, it's gonna be crazy the backlash, man. And the first thing right now, man, if if I was him, you gotta you know hurry up and get to that house because what is that noise? Is that me? Who's that?
That's probably me.
All right, man. But what I would say is, Camille, get that dude out the house ASAP.
Hey man, look,
She
I'm
probably
Bill
think he's gonna be
Cosby.
free.
I'm like,
She gotta
book
get
my
her
flight to Mexico. I ain't never coming back. Tell Russell Simmons I'm on the way to Bali. I ain't never coming back.
facts.
And beep,
That's what
beep,
these
beep, beep, beep.
anybody. You're right. Anybody who's you know, because you on deck because the feminist movement is coming for you. You know the crazy thing is now I'm gonna change gears, but we can go back to this. Did you see? And we're gonna talk about it probably later on our show today. We're gonna talk about child support later on, but did y'all see Nas X on BET Awards and allegedly, well, not allegedly, it happened, kissing some guy, and they broadcast that, and Megan Thee Stallion did the same thing.
Mm.
How y'all feel about that on BET Awards?
Now on that, y'all, I want y'all to put me in the waiting room because my lunch break is ending. So please,
All right,
regard,
yeah, all right,
push me.
yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. So, you know, first off, at the BET Awards, you know, why is anyone even kissing anyone? What does that have to do with anything? You
It,
know,
it yeah, facts.
so you know we can start from there. So when you see after that, you know, two men or two women kissing each other, and it's not something that you're regularly seeing, then it means that there's a plan, an agenda, a push.
Hmm.
They're trying to, you know, push a message
That's
that
right.
this is what everyone should accept. And I, you know, me, I personally don't care what others do in their bedroom,
Hmm.
you know, but don't try to shove it into my living room.
Man, isn't that the truth? You know, yeah, it's just seeing that, man, and the fact that you know the LGBT, I'm pretty sure they Q, they probably add another letter to it. They can carry on and do what they want. And one thing I heard, I think you said it. I don't know if you want to talk about it, but when people, you know, like Christians, I'm trying to tread lightly. Christians or anybody in religion, if you want to add, so, matter of fact, Jimmy X told me this. If you want to add someone to to the mission. Basically, you teach your kid, train them up to be a Christian or a Muslim or whatever the case may be. Well, these gay people ain't having babies. This is what he told me, and it made so much sense. He said the
Mm,
only thing they can do is recruit
mm,
people. Only thing they can do is recruit. And when he said that to me, I was like, man, he is so right about that.
right.
You know, and this this made me think that this is sponsored by the LGBTQ community because there's he's a spokesman. Do you remember when he did had that commercial and he was like doing stuff with the devil? I don't even want to talk about it, but and they made those shoes, Nike shoes that allegedly had blood in them.
Right.
Like they're playing with this thing here, and we can't criticize as men, you know. And I really believe that these people are being recruited. Think about when Obama came in office. Most of his donors was that community, so they're paying. And then now we're starting to see a lot of these guys, a lot of these commercials. Every commercial is gay. They're paying these people to put this on there. That's advertising dollars that they have.
Mhm.
And we're just looking at like we're just changing the channel. Obviously, I don't have my kids watch TV. Right now, the programming is messed up, and this is what I'm thinking. Like back in the day, in about the '80s, when we grew up, our generation, Generation X, there was so many commercials. I mean, so many. Like the parents were mad because TV has changed. So we had the Fred Flintstones and different things like that. And then when it came to corporate sponsors, they start having um, action figures that we can actually buy, right? So
Mm,
we every time we watched like GI Joe or Transformers, we wanted to. They played that commercial of the toy right in between that. Do you remember that?
Ninja
So
Turtles.
Ninja Turtles. So now we're begging our parents to buy these toys, and the parents got fed up with it. So they went to Congress and said we need to put more educational programming. Do you remember they just stopped all cartoon Saturday cartoons, start putting cartoon or
The
educational
PSA
stuff.
and all.
PSA, yes.
Yep.
So the what generation was that before us? The baby boomers did that. So we're in a position to do that. We're not speaking out. You know what I'm saying? Like we're seeing this gay movement, this programming, and here's the thing: if you could do what you want, that's on you and your God, right? But don't push it down our throats.
Hmm.
So we need to speak out on this and say something. Stop being some punks. We're always saying, "Oh, we're old," but the Generation X didn't do that.
Right. And you know what? Before there was, I remember there was a lot of pushback against even sexualizing anything, in the television and movie content. So along the way, there was a push to try to add the different sexual stuff, whether it was in the movies,
Mm-hmm.
eventually in the cartoons. Eventual there was kissing, there was kissing plus. All those different things were being added on. So now the next level on top of sexualizing everything is they're pushing the whether it's the LGBT or the portion of the LGBT, but
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to take it to the next level. It's all almost like let's one up it a little bit more, let's turn it up a little bit more. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm against that. Certain things that, well, no, I mean for my kids before they have a understanding, I'm not allowing them to watch sexual stuff anyway.
Right.
So much less we're not going to have them watching something that the leader of our religious movement doesn't agree with.
Right. Right. Absolutely. And we have to just continue to fight that, man.
Hmm.
Um, just to man, it's bad. It's really bad. But like I said, shout out to Bill Cosby. I felt bad that he was in there. I didn't want him to die in there. He still did a lot of things for society as a whole. You know, and a lot of people with this cancel culture is trying to get rid of anybody.
Hmm.
Just because they don't like them. And we need to stop that. We need to gain some power so that wouldn't phase us. You know, um, that's why I respect. I don't like the direction that Dave Chappelle is going with his comedy, but I respect his movement because he has a lot of people where it doesn't matter what he say. I think Bill Burr's like that too. There's a few people that have that support where the cancel culture don't affect them. You know, um, Vlad has that. Vlad TV. Um, I know a few people like Godfrey and a couple people tried to cancel him because of what he said about Farrakhan, and it didn't work. He actually increased his followers.
Yep. And yeah, just to add in, this is another layer of it. Now, the gentleman, when it comes to financial stuff, you guys may have heard of Dr. Boyce Watkins. On the financial end, I appreciate it. He gives stock tips. He talks about financial wealth. He has done a lot as far as, Black financial help for the Black community. And it's really information that anyone can use, whether you're Black or not.
Hmm.
But some of the things that he's saying are, just not for the best. So, for example, he said that all Black men need to go out and start wifing up these single Black mothers. And primarily that's not good advice. I'm not saying that it's not good to marry, a single woman, so to say, but you have to understand that there's going to be risk involved. And one
Right.
of the risks could lead to, where it is with Bill Cosby. What happens if you're in a situation where you go to discipline, her son,
Right.
and, he's coming to get you at a certain age, he might be ready to fight you, so to
Hmm.
say, or he's saying things like, you're not my dad.
Right.
When you're dealing with a teenager, you can be in a position where you're dealing with something they're just saying in the heat of the moment. They may actually love you.
Right.
They have a great relationship. And then that one time that you try to put your foot down on something that's right,
Hmm.
all of a sudden they're saying, I hate you. You're not my father. Or, let's imagine if there was a girl involved, you got to discipline her, or, you don't allow her to go out with her friends
Hmm.
whenever she wants. You can be in
Hmm.
a situation where you're getting accused saying he touched me,
Right.
and no one's going to believe you, because the fact of the matter is that in real life situations, there are men who actually do that, unfortunately.
Hmm.
So when you're sitting in front of the jury or the judge, they're not thinking, the only thing they're thinking is, well, why would she lie?
Right.
you know,
Right.
you're not gonna, it's hard to beat that question. That's
Right.
a question that's been boggling attorneys for years. So
Right.
what we have to do is, if you're going into those situations, if you go into a situation and you marry a woman with a child, and that's the
Hmm.
one that you love, and you're willing to take on, that responsibility, you're willing to take the package, then, great, kudos to you. But to say that, all Black men, this is our Black responsibility, that's
Hmm.
foolishness.
That is foolishness. And honestly, I would say, I heard what's his name, Farrakhan say this, and in my opinion, it was more because they were trying to defend the fact that they married so many women, right? So he was giving some term way back in the day when he was like, yeah, well, back in the day when the elders had to fight for people and they would die, the other man had to take care of the family. That was that okay, maybe back then, but now is not the time. You know, I was looking at, I'm trying to pull it up right now, the Steve Harvey show, and this is what I'm saying because you can't, unless there's some DNA, like for women who's getting abused like that, go right to the hospital. Get the sample. You know, I don't know what a lot of them go through, but The guy who his name was Romeo on the show. Okay, let me see, Steve Harvey show, and he he's dead, and he's
What?
the reason. Yeah, he died like years ago. The Romeo off the show. I'm trying to see what his real name is. Um, let me see, pull up the cast. But anyway, he died because he was hanging around in the neighborhood, and he was around this girl, and the girl was trying to advance and try to she got rejected by him. He didn't want her, so she lied and said that he raped her, right?
Mm,
So one of the hood dudes who always protecting these women killed him, and they go to jail. And she later said she lied. I'm trying to pull the cast up, but what his real name is. Um, what's his real name here? Right. Oh, Marilyn Santana. I think Romeo Santana. I think that's his real name, Marilyn. And how many people get killed because of these women lying?
mm,
So
yeah,
many people get killed.
right.
There needs to be accountability for that, you know, and everybody want to sit there and say they want to go back to Africa and be like Africans. Well, what I know from Africa, if a woman have more kids, or if they step out on her husband, they get shamed in Africa. But you know what I mean? Like we always say we want to be like them, and we lost our culture. But yeah, we did lose our culture because at this point we're you know like I said, since 1964, things have changed. You
Mm,
know, 3 out of 4 African American women are single. For whatever reason, and they're raising up the kids not to be like of God, but to be of their image. You know, so if they're and then a lot of these women, they sit there and tell the kids all their business. They're seeing all their relationships. They're letting them watch Power and all these other shows. So now these women are bitter. You know, and that is the big problem, and I blame men for that. You
mm,
know,
yeah.
men is the big problem because we keep simping, if that what they call it. You know, um, and you're not going to win that battle. You're not going to win that battle. When you're sitting there trying to wife a person with kids, and people's not going to like what we have to say, but we all got receipts. You know.
Mm, yep. So here, let me see. Uh, place. If not ours, whose? I'm not saying that that should be the direction of the push, but this is something everyone will experience. It's that where the name of the creator is mentioned daily and certain things are not implemented, like morality, loyalty, and mindfulness. Yeah, it's from William Thomas. I would really like to understand a little bit more what you mean by that. If you could click on the link and come on, because I don't want to misinterpret what you're saying. Did you get what he's saying?
Uh, no, not really.
Okay. Yep. But
Yeah. Hey, come on, man. Let's talk about it, man. We the objective perspective, man. We're just going off of our experiences, man. Everybody have different experiences,
mhm.
in life. But from my experience, I know that the wrong thing to do, and even my situation, I had a situation like that. I wouldn't recommend it. Um, but you know, we need to hold people accountable. Everybody want to hold men accountable. They call us no scrubs, no this, no that. Don't mess with him.
Mhm.
And we gotta be held accountable, but nobody else does. That just shows me that's an agenda that's going on here. You got all these people, these women can wear no clothes on and pretty much having a decent exposure. But if a masculine man did that, there's a problem. But the gay community can do it. They can sit there and kiss. And why is it the fact that they want to push? They want to show us that they're who they are. Like if this is something that you do, you keep that in the privacy of your own home. Ain't that true?
That's what I do.
Right. Have some decency, man. Like we got to stop showing our kids this stuff, man. That's why they're so messed up. They're not ready for this stuff right here. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to protect their kids. You got these girls out here twerking, doing all these TikToks, and it's just a mess, man. So
And BET, it was supposed to be black entertainment television. And before, remember, it was more like a family type of thing. You could set anyone in there up until a certain time.
yep.
Most of the day, you had shows like, that what didn't it have Moesha and all that?
Yeah, that was later on. But when they had news channels on a Sunday or every day, they had religious channels, and they had the music, you know, and I used to watch BET Wars all the time, because there was iconic people on there. They had I remember one, I think it was like 2002, because they started it in 2001, I believe, and this is when Bob Johnson owned it. And that's the thing: when you sell a company, the other person who's buying it doesn't care about. They don't have your vision, you know. So when he was pushing this programming, it was really for us. It was news in the hood, news in the business news. It celebrated and gave these artists a platform. So the first episode I remember watching, or the first show, it had everybody on it. It had Michael Jackson. He was getting an achievement award. No, it was James Brown. And then, you know, Michael Jackson was influenced by James Brown. So he came out and he didn't even know he was out there. And it was
Mm.
just a beautiful moment, man. And then Beyonce was on there, and they were just out trying to outperform each other. It was just like really good to watch. And so
Wow.
I watched it religiously for years. I couldn't wait for that to come on, um, with my kids. And then slowly it just start changing, man. It start getting really ratchet and ghetto and satanic. And it just takes the cake. Like, really, you're gonna support two black men kissing on a TV show? And all the media outlets took it, and they're accepting this. Like, this is okay. Mm, I don't know.
Not for me. I mean, I haven't watched BT in probably 15 years. So I
But the thing is, like, we both have gay people in our family. That's their choice. I don't recommend it. I think it's I'm definitely religious on that end, but I'm not going to tell you what to do. Just like you're not going to tell me what to do in my relationship, right? I don't even put my business out there like that. But for y'all to put the business out there, and we have to accept it, and then now you're going to, like, that's what the Democrats do. What they do is they'll say we have a democracy, but at the same time they're trying to brainwash your children for 15 years.
mm,
So now, when about time they get to college, they go against the parents because now they think they know too much, and you're this whole time you're dripping on them, you're dripping on them. You know, you're putting gay stuff in there, you're putting this and putting that, and then now they're angry when they get out of college. What are you angry for?
mhm.
I'm sick of that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you angry for what? Like, right now, America's for sale. Like, what you gonna keep focusing on 1900s?
Right.
All them people are dead. It's like this, and I tell the people this all the time, and I don't care. I got family members that did some dirt in the streets. The people. So you mean to tell me you're going to be mad at me because of what they did?
Mm.
So you might as well be mad at me then. For what? I didn't do anything. So we're gonna keep this anger. Like, there's got to be one point you just got to forgive and keep it moving. Because how is that going to teach you? And when my boy always talk about, how is this stuff going to teach you the rules of 72? How's it going to teach you about money? How's it going to teach you how the banking industry moves? I keep hearing people talk about, uh, oh man, I don't know how to get, red line and not get me a loan. While they talking about this, I'm living in this house right here, and they come down here and say, oh, this is a beautiful house. What are we talking about here?
Mm.
Let's look at, you know, we talk about racism. Capitalism always beats racism. Let me prove my point, and you could come on here and talk about it if you want to. The Washington Redskins owner in the 30s was racist. He didn't hire black people.
Mhm.
But other teams did. Not to say they wasn't racist or they was. They probably all was. But African Americans were so talented that he couldn't pass them up anymore because they was losing every game. Go Google it. You had Jim Brown playing for Cleveland, destroying them. You had the guy who was the running back on Chicago. They had so many great black athletes, and they were winning, which is decreasing their bottom line. So eventually, the dude from the Redskins had to hire African Americans. That's what I'm saying. Like, just get your money. If you so worried about them, how about you support this channel?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to talk. We don't have media. There's a media right here, and half of y'all scrolling up and down and not getting on it. We accepting everybody. Right now we got a thing where you can get on and talk about it, but y'all don't want to do it. So don't talk to me about that stuff. Don't talk to me about we need to get together and train and teach. But y'all want to ignore us. I ain't playing with that no more.
Yeah. Tell them. And that's real. Because everybody's always talking about they want something. Opportunity comes to do something, they don't do it. If Jackie Robinson was born in this generation, there probably wouldn't even be any black people playing in the MLB.
Facts.
If a lot of these dudes were, born, back then, the NBA would still be white.
Right.
The NBA was that if you don't know, guys, the NBA was invented by a white man. It was a white man's sport. What percentage do you see in the NBA right now? It's about capitalism. And capitalism it's starting to shift it right now because people got comfortable and those Europeans, they over there changing the game. Mm-hmm. They making them change the rules and stuff. Yep. Now you can travel all over the place, so people need to be careful with what they're focusing on. Let's focus on capitalizing, moving forward. And if you have someone that's supporting that, support them.
The people on here watching, like I said, share the information, share the video right now. Like if you want to support, we got a cash app right here. Support us. Everybody we need to do this. That's BS. Because when it's time to do it, you ain't gonna do it. And then we got these progressives that come on this show. They doing well, way better than everybody else. And we know about what we feel about those people because you doing well, but you're not helping nobody else. What you want the government to do it? You could do it now. Like I said, America's for sale. We have enough people in our area that's making all this money. Mm-hmm. And we ain't supporting. You got the NBA. The NBA has 362 millionaires or 100,000aires. And don't you think if they all got a business together, they can be doing well and having black businesses? That's why I ain't trying to hear that stuff. NFL is the same thing. They have all these athletes making money. Atlanta, there's all these black people making money down there. One thing I don't have it on here, but I'm gonna play it though. I'm gonna try to play it, but something that Jay-Z said, and I'm gonna try to play it. Just give me a second here. Let me see if I can find it.
Yeah.
One second. I gotta put something on there, but just keep talking. I'm gonna try to get.
While we're on that subject, Jay-Z, look where he came from and where he is, and you can't say that it's a matter of drugs because not everyone, but a lot of people are out there hustling. But Jay-Z, he ended up putting together enough moves. He was able to save his money. He even made a song about you cash, you flip, you re-up. So we have the opportunity through capitalism to do those type of things. But one of the things that people don't like to hear about is delayed gratification. Let that sink in. Delayed gratification. Sometimes the things that you want, you don't need to get it right now. Sometimes the things that you want, you may be able to, put it to the side. And if you're looking for power, give it to someone that has the power. If you're looking for long-term wealth, put it in a place where it can actually multiply or it can work for you. That's how you succeed. I can't hear you, Ron. You there? You're muted. I got you.
Yeah, just give me a second. Keep talking. I'm pulling this up. Give me like another minute or two.
Got me going on this financial rant here.
No, keep it going. Keep going. You're doing good.
No, but seriously, you can get PNC Bank is available in about a third of this country. You can get an account where it says spend, reserve, and growth. You have a growth account, put it in that account. Don't touch it unless you know what to do with it. If you don't know what to do with it, then either don't touch it or find someone that can tell you what to do with it.
To anybody still confused as to what he was doing, make him out the hood to keep us trapped. The red line it probably declines if you live by black. I don't think they hear me though. Okay. Gentrify your own hood before these people do it. Claim eminent domain and have your people moving. That's a small glimpse into what Nipsey was doing. For anybody still confused as to what he was doing. The neighborhood designed to keep us trapped. They redlined it so property declines if you live by blacks. They depress the asset and take the property back. It's a ruthless but a genius plan in fact. So now we fighting over scraps. Crabs in the barrel, but crabs don't belong in the barrel. They ain't never tell us that. So in the barrel, we gon' act like we act. We can easily get out the barrel if we stand on each other's back. Whoever gets on top, as long as they stay attached, they can pull everybody out. I was doing just that. I told neighborhood Nipsey, stay close. $100 million on your schedule, lay low. Tell your team to be on point in the places that they go. I never dreamed to get killed in the place that he called home. How we gonna get in power? We keep the source. Y'all like to run off on the plug, so of course, that ain't lit, that's a means to an end. Me and my team was playing the plug and had a plan. Sometimes we was only making 1,000 a joint. That ain't no money, but that ain't their point. So those 92 bricks was only 92,000. So y'all can close your mouth, it ain't nothing for y'all to wow. But it is something to study. We was chasing our goals, not chasing money. Niggas chasing hoes, we find that funny. I pull up in the roads, that hoe gon' want me. But I don't want no hoe, I want a wife. Somebody to bounce these ideas off at night. I be going to sleep hoping they'd visit me. That young king had a lot of jewels to split with me. And we ain't gotta leave the hood physically, but we gotta leave that shit mentally. Somehow, some way, I'm gonna make it up out the hood. Some way, we gonna make it up out this life, right? Somehow.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe they gotta hear it from a different voice though. But one part that he said that really resonated with me was, yeah, we you and the crabs in the bucket, but if we all get on each other's backs, we can get out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think that's what we were saying on the other show. Sometimes because it's not Monday, but I'm still mad about this. A lot of times.
Hold on, wait. We got to do it right.
Ask me no question. I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad.
Tell me why you mad.
Like I said, it ain't Monday, but I'm mad about the fact that there's a group of people that make it to where if you make it and you leave the hood or where you grew up, you're a sellout. Mm-hmm. And that's the most stupidest crab in the barrel, bucket over, with no water mentality.
Hold on, shots fired.
I mean, seriously, if you get out, how can you have the ability to be able to help other people to get out if you stay there?
Right.
And
What's this saying they say? Don't if you want to help the poor, don't be one of them.
right. And it's fine. Look, there are some people who want to stay in their communities. You do that. Kudos to you. I've seen houses like that. I grew up in the Homewood section of Pittsburgh, and I've seen a couple houses where, it was fenced off. It had a couple bars on the window. And if you walked inside of that house, you thought
Dope. Dope
like
house.
King's Palace or something of the sort. Yeah, there's houses that exist like that. If that's how you want to live, that's going to be the cheaper living. Great. But that's not for everyone. And it's not sustainable for most people unless you flip the dynamic to where there's more people on that income level. But if you only have a few like that, guess what? There's someone hungry coming to your door. And if you ain't giving them bread, they're going to take it.
Exactly. Stick up kids. Pay attention, folks.
Yep.
You're right. You're totally right. So it's a mentality, man. I remember Jay-Z talked about it. They asked him why he don't give back to Marcy Projects. He said because they're going to be doing the same thing. There's always going to be poor with us.
By the way.
Say that again?
I said, where are the Marcy Projects at, by the way?
Brownsville, New York, I believe. In New York.
Are they a pile of rubble or are they new buildings now?
I don't know. I don't know if they're if they renovated that, but Brooklyn is different right now. And another thing he talked about is everybody want to talk about gentrification. Well, if the prices go low, of course people want to buy it. You know what I'm saying? The market change every couple of years. When the market crashed in 08, people who think about money, they love those times. That's like the flea market sale. And we all have the ability to do that. You can build, like, people talking about, oh, my credit's bad. Well, you could build your own self just get a business LLC or something, and you can build a person. This is what they are not teaching people. But now you know it if you're listening to this show. And we're going to have financial people on here, but most people ain't going to listen. Let's keep it 100.
Right.
Most people don't read a book. And guess what? It made it easy because there's books on audio now. You got YouTube. You know how much stuff I learned on YouTube? I didn't have to. Some people, come after or ask me, like, how do you do the podcast? I'm like, well, go on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's so low. I got to fix that, but go ahead. I'm listening.
But even with the Audible, I know people don't read. If you have Amazon, get the Audible. I think it's like $15 a month. It's going to be cheaper than buying books. You can turn your car into a university pretty much.
Right.
But
So
no
excuses. No excuses. Go ahead. What you say?
I agree.
So but yeah, back to Bill, man. Yeah, free, like I was on that free Bill, man. I feel like there was unjust the system, but nobody cares because you don't like him. But let the justice be justice. Like, if they didn't have any evidence, how you gonna block somebody up? That's the system. So I mean,
unfortunately, Bill could be you or me. Bill could be, you listening right now. That can be you. Yep. So once again, I don't condone, that type of behavior. I think that somewhere along the line they consented to it, but I don't know. I wasn't.
We don't know. Yeah.
What I don't accept at all is putting any man or woman in prison without just cause.
For hearsay.
Right.
That's why I do not like mob rules, because like, let's say for African Americans, there's not a lot of us in America. There's 13%, like 40 million? And then there's the Europeans, 200 million, 202 million? So if we go by those standards, if they say, oh, we want African Americans to go back to Africa, let's vote on it. guess who loses? That's why it's best to have a Democrat republic. Like have certain laws in place, and you have to abide by it. That's why I like the Constitution. Obviously, the Constitution wasn't written specifically for us, but now we are citizens, and if they go by that Constitution, if they don't go by the Constitution, then it's foul.
Mm-hmm.
You know, So if you're going by the Constitution, then he shouldn't be locked up.
Right.
So moving forward, like, and don't get me wrong, there's people who's victims every day, and they should be locked up. You know what I mean? But we have to empower the women too. Like, if you're being victims, you have to go tell. You have to go to that hospital and get that kit done. You know what I mean? Have the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. I mean, I know some people will intimidate you, but you have to do it. You have to do it. You can't go back, 10 years later saying this person did it. I mean, that situation is going on with Charlemagne. And I heard, Charlemagne, something happened, and I believe Charlemagne knows about it. I don't believe he did it, but this is the product of I'm not snitching on my friends, because we have this no snitch culture in our America. And you got to ask, who does it benefit? It's only going to benefit the criminal.
Criminals only. Yep.
So it's not going to benefit you.
Yep.
And
I just want to say, for any ladies or men who are in a situation, if you've been, abused, sexually assaulted, or whatever, especially with the ladies, a lot of times there is a fear. Get some, if you have any strong men around you, and that honestly happened. I'm not necessarily talking about the type of men that, you're going to tell them this and they're going to just go off of emotion and they're going to come in shooting and, all that those are actually weak men. Those are weak-minded men, because a strong-minded man isn't going to put themselves in position to, go to jail or get killed without actually checking over the information. But get around a strong-minded man who, can, help you to go through that process. Yes, it is. It's embarrassing. It's emotional. I get that, because just as much as it is on that end, whenever it happens, that's probably the same way that, people feel when they're accused falsely. Right. So we have to, clean this up as a society. And whenever there's false allegations, if men or women, if you know that someone's doing a false allegation, you need to snitch. That's the only way that you're going to be able to help to clear out the system and help the innocent to be able to get justice and the guilty to be able to get justice also. Mm-hmm. So let's get this right.
And it's sad because, like, African American men always get the raw end of the deal, because, if we want to talk about history, a lot of African American men was wrongfully accused by white women, mm-hmm. when it was illegal. You had Emmett Till, and we can name countless cases. Like, there's so many movies that they're remaking and saying this guy was falsely accused of killing someone or rape, and then he's just getting out of jail.
Brian Banks.
I heard that was another good movie. I couldn't watch that.
Man, that was sad. That this young man had a whole. He was going to the NFL. Had a whole NFL career. He was supposed to be going to college, and in high school, the girl falsely accused him of rape, and she held on with it. Man, she kept with that lie. So, in those situations, in my opinion, I believe that if you give a false accusation, you should end up getting the punishment that the rape accused would have gotten.
I'm pretty sure it's like that in the Islamic countries and different things like that. They held people accountable, but man, that's deep. I couldn't watch that movie, man. You went to the theater to see it?
Because there's a statistic that they say out there. They say that 2 or 0.2% of rape accusations are proven to be false. How do you know that? Realistically, how do you know that if 100 people are accused of rape and two of them are it's proven to be false, that does that mean that the other 98 were necessarily true?
Mm.
That doesn't mean anything. The fact of the matter is that we do have, on one end, we have people actually committing this, and on the other end we have people that are lying. So it's obviously a societal issue, but before we can end up cleaning it up, we have to get through on the justice system. And men who have daughters, women who have daughters, you have to prep them of what situations not to go into.
Right.
Same thing with the sons. You have to prep them for what situations not to go into. I almost want to say that if you're a boy coming up, you better have film for everything.
Yeah.
Everything's a possibility.
Right. Record everything. Record your conversations with women. Yeah. I mean, it's real out here. I know. I was listening to Star Report, and he said every conversation he has at work, he's recording. You know, yeah, that's just the times we're in right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I said, this is a day for celebration. We'll see more of the news as it unfolds. We just wanted to break the news, to you guys who probably weren't aware. We interrupted everyone's work schedule. It's going to be on the news all day, so why not spend some time with us?
Right. So we enjoy it, man. So like I said before, we open up our we're going to put in the groundwork and open up our platform to people you want to come on here and talk. Because we are with the objective perspective. If you don't agree with what we're saying, come on, tell us. We don't care. As far as that, we want to hear from you. So if not, we can ramble for 2 hours. We can do that. It's not a thing.
Easy.
But definitely, man, we're gonna check out our show tonight. We're going to talk about a show about child support. You want to? What time is that show tonight?
That's going to be at 9 p.m. You want to get on probably about 8:50. We'll have the pre-show going, and we actually have a special guest. We have Marcus Eccles from the Child Support Hustle organization. They've been fighting for years to be able to reform the system. They've actually helped to be able to get some bills on the to change how the system actually works. So you don't want to miss this show. Listen, if you're against the child support system, be there for this show. If you are for the child support system, be there for the show. You don't want to miss it. Share it with your friends. It's going to be amazing.
And if you have some questions, write them down early if you watch this show during the day, and see if we can get him to answer a lot of your questions.
Mm-hmm.
With that, we'll see you later. And I'll talk to you in a little bit.